Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with DR Holistic Healer, aka Sonia B. I am back with another prophetic message that I received this morning. I just want to say, for those of you who are new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. And for those of you who return it back, I want to say welcome back. Keep in mind that these energies could be happening right now, could be happening tomorrow, could be happening a few days from now, could be even happening a month from now. So keep that in mind. It just depends on your location on the planet, whether you're on the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, all that plays a part as well too. So anyway, for those of you who do not know, I am an intuitive clairvoyant yoga empath who receives divine prophetic dream messages. I am here to translate messages from the spiritual world into this 3D world to help assist souls on their spiritual journey, or either their soul's journey, however you want to refer to it, or just your journey period. Excuse me. Anyway, for those of you who do not know, I'm a Reiki master teacher. I am also a Reiki practitioner as well too. I am a mom and I'm other things as well too. So anyway, with all that being said, let's get into the prophetic message. Oh, and I will just let you guys know today I was being urged to pull some cards, so I will pull some cards. I did not shuffle them, but I did clear them, so I will shuffle some in a minute when I'm done with this message. Anyway, so with all that being said, so please take these messages how they resonate, because it's going to resonate differently for everybody. Just because it comes to me in a dream in a particular way, it may come to you in a specific way, tailored to your situation, should I say. So just keep that in mind as well too. And keep in mind that if it's not happening to you, it could be happening to someone that is close to you, your mother, sister, cousin, brother, your mom, your dad, whoever. Take it how it resonates. Your boss, grandma, whoever. Take it how it resonates. And even your pets. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit was reminding me to even let you know, even your pets as well too. Anyway, let's get into the prophetic message. So the message that I received this morning it came in a form of, I saw that it came in a form as if it was in a dream, it was like my brother-in-law. And it's like him and I had moved into a place together in a sense. And I say all that to say, like, him and I had became roommates or something like that. And not something like that. It was like that in a dream. And then, okay. But remember I said my brother-in-law. But in the dream, it's like him and his wife had, I guess they live in two separate houses at this point. Or it was like my brother-in-law had basically moved into another place with someone else, and I saw that his wife had actually came to visit. So the way that it happened it's like him and I was sharing a place together, and I was just seeing this through someone else's eyes. So I know this is not happening to me, but anyway, it just came in this form so that I'm able to deliver this message. And it's just letting me know the people and the situation. So it came as if my brother-in-law and I was moving into a place together. And as we were moving into a place together, it's like, I'm not sure if he moved in with me or if we just moved into a place together. So take it how it resonates, because it could be different for everyone. But anyway, so it just so happened that we was in the house and we was kind of organizing our stuff in the house, like, I guess with us moving in together, or whether him moving in with me, should I say. And it was like he was putting his things away and so on and so on. Well, I decided to run to the grocery store. And in the midst of me running to the grocery store, I went to the grocery store, and it's like, as I went to the grocery store, I noticed like this grocery store kind of seemed like a mall. If you think about a mall, when you have these different shops and different places inside the mall, but it was somewhat like the grocery store as well too, because it seemed like each area that I went into, it's like there was like a male who was kind of looking at me, should I say, and he was looking at me from a standpoint of, how can I say it? From a standpoint of, like, it was something about me that was intriguing them in a sense, should I say. So I say all that to say that it seemed like each area that I went to that was happening, it was like a different guy in each area that was, doing this, like looking at me in a sense. But anyway, so with all that being said, and then I believe towards the end of me getting ready to leave the store, I felt like it was like I was like in the frozen section. And then as I was in the frozen section, a guy came up to me and he started talking to me. And basically, I don't remember the complete full conversation, but I do remember I remember having a conversation with him, but I also kind of remember also kind of thinking to myself that I wasn't interested in this sense. So anyway, I say all that to say, so as I left the store and then it switched scenes, and the scene was me going back to the place of residence of where me and my brother-in-law had moved in together. So just as we had moved in together, but I want to say this too, because I left this part out. So before I went to the store, I remember seeing his wife. Remember I said this, he's my brother-in-law. So his wife was there sitting on a stool, and she was just kind of having a conversation with him. So I think that's when I chose to leave the house and just go to the grocery store and pick up some stuff. So anyway, I forgot to mention that. But anyway, his wife was there at the house, I guess kind of having a conversation with him before I left. And then after I left the grocery store and dealing with the different encounters of the different men, I was on my way back to the place of residence where I stay at. And this time I actually saw like my niece in a dream, and my niece was coming in a form of, how can I say it? She was, because those were like her parents, should I say, that was at the house, in other words, but it was somebody else that was with her. But I was passing her outside, and as I was passing her outside, you know how you take and you walk, and sometimes I know guys tend to do this, but they have their hands out like this and they dap each other up like five like that. So my hand was out like that, in a sense, like straight out. And it's like her and I was passing each other in passing. And as we were passing each other, we slapped each other's hands along the way, but we kept walking. And then I had went into the house. And as I had went into the house, I went into the house to put up, by this time, I guess, his wife wasn't there because, it was just him and I in the place at this time. So I say all that to say, and I believe that might have been her passing with my niece when I saw her in the dream, when we slapped hands, but our hands were straight out. Anyway, so when I went into the house, I remember putting like some ice cream away. And I remember as putting ice cream away, I heard my brother-in-law saying something about, well, you could put my ice cream in the second refrigerator. I said, oh, we got two refrigerators? But, and he was like, yeah, the other one's over there. So anyway, but with all that being said, that was just pretty much the end of the dream. So I say all that to say, seeing my brother-in-law in a dream like that, it was just a representation of, this is this situation is going to apply to people who are married, okay? So there's going to come a situation where some of you guys, if you are someone who are married, and even if you're someone, thank you, Spirit, even if you're someone who might be possibly engaged to somebody, maybe you guys are staying together, but I see that there's some sort of separation coming. And I say all that to say that him moving in with me was a representation of him being married, was a representation of him and his wife separating. So that just lets me know, again, if you're someone who is married, or if you're someone who is like engaged and you guys is living together, and somehow it's not applying to everybody. It's going to be applying to some people. So take it how it resonates. You know what your situation is. Don't call it in if it's not your situation. But if find yourself that you and your partner have been at odds and not really been on the same page, well, then this message is probably for you. So I say all that to say, some of you guys are going to find yourself in a situation to where somebody's going to end up moving out of the house, moving in either with a friend or moving in by themselves. Just take it how it resonates. But the message that I got is moving in with somebody. And the somebody could also be, another family member. So it came in a form as if he was my brother-in-law moving in with me, but I know that's not the case. So I say all that to say, some of you guys, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, take it how it resonates. It's going to be different for everybody. But anyway, so with all that being said, his wife being at the house, I guess it was more so of, maybe some of you guys may find yourself after moving out that this individual may come and have a conversation with you to try to get you to reconcile, and work things out because you moved out and separate. I guess in other words, is almost like that they think that they can persuade you to come back, and take it how it resonates. Because this can come in a form of, even though I saw it that it was a male energy, again, who was my brother-in-law who moved in with me, this can also apply to a female situation as well too, meaning a female could actually be moving out and separating from her family as well too. So don't just take it as, oh, that's not my situation, because it can come in a form of a male or a female. But anyway, so with all that being said, what else was it? And then there was the situation of, let's see. Okay, so when she came over to the house to have a conversation with him, it was more so, I guess, having a conversation with him, trying to get him to reconcile, to come back home, get him to change his mind or get her to change their minds in regards to reconciling their differences for whatever reason that they moved out. And then with all that being said, when I left the house and went to the grocery store and encountered males, I say all that to say, some of you guys are going to find yourself in a situation where it's almost like these different, and it could be males and it could come in a form of females as well too. So take it how it resonates. It could be a situation that there are going to be people who are going to be, you're going to be sought after, if that makes sense. People are going to be looking at you. They're going to be wondering. You remember when I did the message on the fake Whitney Houston, should I say? It's almost like that's kind of like pertaining to that energy. So it's almost like these people are going to be drawn to you, but they're going to be kind of thinking like, oh, or like there's something about you. Like, are you my mate? Are you my soulmate? So take that how it resonates. But I knew, like for myself in the store, when I said that, the guy came up to me and had a conversation, and I thought to myself, I knew I wasn't interested, because in the dream, I knew who God had showed me who my kingdom spouse was. So it's like, in a sense, this person, they didn't know who their soulmate was or who their possible kingdom spouse was, because they have not known, they have not went on that journey yet. So that's just letting me know that some people, if you've been finding yourself separated for some time now, probably 4 or 5 years, you know what I'm talking about when I say that some of you guys know who your kingdom spouse is, because God would have most likely revealed it to you, if you guys were really, in tune and paying attention to your intuition. And then there's the situations of people starting this journey and they absolutely do not know who their kingdom spouses are. They may have a feeling of, is this the one? Is this the one? There's a feeling about people, but, in a sense, not really sure. But anyway, for those of you who do know, you do know. And for those who don't know, just sit tight, and in due time, God will reveal it to you. Anyway, so me coming back home, and I passed my niece on the way, and I believe it was her mom, because the energy was so fast and so quick. I knew it was my niece, and I knew somebody else was walking with her, or whatever the case may be, but I believe it was her mom. So I say all that to say, they were leaving the house to where my brother-in-law was, because remember I said he moved in with me. But as I slapped her hand, and we slapped hands like this in passing, that lets me know it's almost like it's a situation of my journey. I mean, our journeys are gonna always be until we leave this earth, but this particular journey of coming into a place of unconditional love and self-love, and all those type of things, and just evolving, learning, and releasing and letting go of things that you thought you knew. And like I said before, for those of you who do not know, when I first started this journey, the most important thing that meant everything to me is my relationship with God. God and me reading the word daily, me pushing my Bible to the side, was not saying that, because for me, the Bible does not represent God. I have a personal relationship with God. So whether I read the Bible or not, I know that God is still my Father, and I have that absolute, most definitely guaranteed, signed, sealed, and delivered relationship, with God, period. My Father, he is my Father, even when my dad was not there, but I say all that to say, life is a journey, yes, but this particular journey is totally different from any of the other journeys that you have. It's a journey of going within and instead of seeking without, in other words. So once, it's almost like I've been through this journey, so it's almost like when me and my niece was slapping hands, it's almost like I was tagging her in a sense, because now she's about to go on this journey. So I say all that to say, you know, some of you guys are coming to this end of this journey, and I know you guys heard that for some time, and we are, you know, we're coming slowly but surely, we're coming. You know, we're putting the finishing touches on things and so on and so on. But I say all that to say, it's almost like me slapping her hand was a representation of, you know, like you do the baton relay, you pass the baton on to someone else. So it's almost like me slapping her hand was a representation of her and her mom and her dad, stepdad, or whatever, about to go on that same journey or whatever that I had to experience myself, where, you know, you spend time alone, you get to know yourself, you get to know thyself, you know who you are, you uncover your gifts, you uncover your talents, you know, you have that one-on-one relationship with God, you know, you release things along your journey that do not serve your higher good, and you let go of unhealthy people, you know, you realize, and you become one with nature, with the animals around you, you know, just in general, you really go within and just really seek and allow God to cleanse you out from any and everything that you did not know that was there. It's almost like clear, thank you, Spirit. Spirit was showing me like clearing out a trunk. You know, those trunk that people used to have, that they used to travel with and put clothes and bears, you know, all your valuable possessions in your home that you wanted to keep locked away. It's like that. It's like clearing out that stuff that you no longer need, that's not serving you, that's no longer needed on this journey going forward. But anyway, so with all that being said, was that okay? So when I went back into the house, and let's see, because I didn't get a chance to do the ice cream, but I know ice cream definitely has to have a representation. And please forgive me, because I forgot about the ice cream until I started making the video. And I'm going to pull a couple cards in a minute just to confirm this message, so give me 1 second. Okay, it says to see ice cream in your dream can be a good experience. Ice cream signifies happiness, joy, luck, and love in your life. In contrast, ice cream in a dream means overindulgence, insecurity, and sensual feelings. The dream tells you about your emotions and the transient natures of things. So to me, that sounds about right, because like I said, I knew that he and his family was getting ready to go on a journey, the journey that me and my family had already been on. So anyway, with all that being said, let me shuffle these cards. Bear with me, y'all, because these cards are really thick. And my hands are so small. Oh, God. Oh, and I can tell y'all this too. Actually, you know, I'll just do another video on this. Nose itching. Yes, y'all, I got a little bit of smoky purple lipstick on, just to decided to just do something different, just add a little color to my life. Oh my God, I haven't been shuffling these cards so regularly. It's almost like they didn't stop. I feel like that's almost like the energies that people are dealing with. This is the second time this card came out, the Star card. I'm going to just read this real quick because it's the second time. Look to the future with hope and optimism, the power of faith to move mountains, happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. You know who need to hear that message, but that's a message. That card came out twice already, so. And then I got the Lover's card. True love is long-lasting, choices made from the heart. And that's the other thing too. A return to good health. Ooh, hallelujah. I say amen if y'all don't want to say it. All right. And I was divinely guided to look at those cards. I don't even know why, but I see why now. All right. There we go. Get the energy flowing. All right, y'all, one more shuffle. Oof, these cards are so thick. And I was divinely guided to use this deck, so. At the bottom of the deck, it says, plans that work out perfectly, amazing ideas that lead to rewards, and rewards and condemnations, gratitude for the blessings of life. Oh, condemnation. I'm sorry. Light is facing the camera, so it's a little dark shadow in here. All right, Spirit, what message do you have for the collective? What message do you want them to know? Got 2 cards. And I'm being divinely guided to do one more. Bear with me. Ooh, I can feel like a whole lot of cards want to come out. I don't. Just one, Spirit. Just one. Pure white light and sugar. All right, so the first one we have 4 of Autumns. Give me a minute, y'all. These aren't exactly, these go by different seasons. Six of Summer. Put this one here, and then 4 of Autumn. And they're not even in order according to seasons. 4 of Autumn, and then 2 of Springs. Bear with me, y'all. I could have did this off of camera, but I wanted to shuffle them on camera. Okay, Two of Springs. So the first one was Six of Summer. And that says, children or childhood, the return of people or romance from your past. Remember events differently in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. So it says, the magic of childhood. When we see through the eyes of a child, the world bounds with joyful and amazing movements. This card asks you to get in touch with that bright outlook that still lives within you. Memories or people from your past can reemerge in your life. Bring in enchanted surprises with them. Experience from childhood or younger days may unexpectedly provide inspiration for your current situation. Think back to the times in your life that are similar to what you face now. Make notes about how you handled those events and how you might apply what you learned to the present. Take special care to see the past accurately without putting a positive or negative spin on it. Two young fairies sit together enjoying the stories they shared. Perhaps they are happy memories from years gone by, or they could be events that just happened moments ago. Anyway, then it says additional meaning, children or childhood, pending from the past, the rekindling of an old friendship or romance, events that bring back memories, childhood innocence becoming fast friends. So that's one. And that's exactly kind of like what I was talking about. Like, I knew that these people are about to go on a journey. Some of you guys are about to go on this journey, and some of you are about to go on a journey with people of your past. And then some of you who are coming out of this journey are going to be re-reconciled with old romantic partners, or, just old people that, remember from the past. So take it how it resonates, because it's going to be different. It's almost seemed like it's the same situation, but again, it's two different situations. People who are going on a journey, and then people who are coming off the journey, but the same situation or scenario is still applying anyways. So the second card came in as Fourth Autumn. And this one says, manage your resources wisely. Achieve a balance in how you spend and save money. Help out those who are less fortunate. And it's funny that this card is coming out, because this is the month of November. Usually when people try to give, around Thanksgiving time, especially to the homeless people and, those who are less fortunate, so that they're able to have meals as well too. Anyway. So it says, Fourth Autumn, comparing yourself to others can create confusion. You may not be seeing things as they truly are. You might feel as though you don't have enough when you're more blessed than you realize. Remember to give to those in need. Donating to the less fortunate creates a circle whereby you can also receive. What you give comes back to you. Manage your resources wisely. Are you spending too freely, or are you holding on to each dollar so tightly that there's no joy in it for you? Money is a tool that should be used in ways that bring enjoyment but also create long-term security. If you're being miserly with your abundance, the law of attraction can become blocked. You deserve to have all the material pleasures of life. Keep in mind that this card can refer to things other than finances. In fact, it can also apply to any aspect of your life where you're giving too much or not enough. A fair of abundance gives looks into a mirror, but see only lack. Her viewpoint of her own situation is screwed by the fear. Additional meaning for this card is working very hard for your money, being too controlling. So again, working too hard for your money, being too controlling, fear around losing your prosperity, financial stability, and excessive debt. Okay, so holding on too tight can create all those things. It's like she's looking in the mirror. I don't know if you can see it. She's looking in the mirror at herself, and in the mirror she sees lack. But outside of the mirror, it's like she's abundant, but because she's looking at herself, she's thinking that she doesn't have. Anyway, that was the second card. This last card is, and remember that it says apply that to every aspect of your life. You know, it's not just money, but where you're being too tight, where you're being, you know, take it how it resonate. Anyway, Two of Spring, and this one says a bright future manifests through hard work and creativity. Parenting with this lighting. Partnering with others who share your dreams. Great progress being made. There's more light right here than it is over here with me trying to read. It gets a little dark. Anyway, so here we go. Comparing, I'm sorry. Wrong one. Okay. You're off to a wonderful start. It is as if you have the whole world in your hands. Okay. It is as if you have the whole world in your hands. Choices about the short-term future now appears. And the most important thing to remember is that it's safe to take chances. If you had ever possible resources at your disposal, what brave new steps would you take? Evaluate the situation and then move forward quickly. Many more opportunities are on the way. The possibility of forming a partnership with others may present itself. This can be a wonderful way to move mutual dreams forward as you're encourage each other to continue to follow your passion. Just make sure that you're truly on the same page with one another. Consider pairing up with. Lord Jesus, I don't know if y'all heard that. Let me read that again, because Lord knows I only want to pair with people who's thinking on the same page as myself. This can be a wonderful way to move mutual dreams forward as you're encouraging each other to continue to follow your passion. Just make sure that you're truly on the same page. You know, there's nothing more than having a partner or a companionship who supports you in what it is that you do. You know, don't necessarily say it's about support. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have to see the whole dream, because remember, God placed that vision in someone else's heart. So of course you can't necessarily see it, but you know within a partnership that, you know, if this person succeed, that you too will succeed, you know. So it's just that type of mindset of bringing that support of, okay, you know. Anyway, I don't want to get into all that, but that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, it says, our two fairies have worked hard together to build a beautiful boat that is nearly finished. All they need to do is instill the purple butterfly sails, and their journey to magical Avalon will be successfully underway. Additional meaning for this card is a bright future creates endeavors, success through hard work, great progress being made, gay relationships or friend relationships. I'm sorry, this is exactly what the book says, so take it how it resonates, whether you are straight or gay. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, reading what the card says, so I don't want to get into all that. But anyway, so with all that being said, those were the 3 messages. And oh, thank you, Spirit. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Okay. Spirit is asking me to pull this card real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. These are letting go cards. The language of letting go, learning to let go. Whatever it is you need to let go of, and whatever, in order to bring in whatever it is that needs to be brought in. I hope this message was helpful, and I hope you guys watched it to the end, because like I said, you know, it's about to be it's almost like the next group of people are about to embark on a journey. One. Whoa. Two. One more. Oh, good Lord. All right, so 4 fell out. All right, this one says, getting calm. Today I will stop searching for happiness outside of myself. If I'm in a frenzied state, I'll get calm, get back on track, and remember that the key to happiness is inside of me. Often after I've become peaceful and accepting what I want comes to me with ease. That's one. The second one is standing firm in your truth. And this one says, today I will acknowledge that my knowledge, feelings, and beliefs are all mine, and they're just as valid as anyone else's. I am open to learning from others and their experiences, but I will stand firm in my own truths. True that. Because everybody's going to have their own different opinions, and it's a matter of you standing firmly in yours. I know I had I'll tell you about it in a minute. Anyway, if I don't forget. Actually, no, let me finish this. Anyway, let me tell you now before I forget. So yesterday I had a situation, right? And just know that some of you guys are going to find yourself dealing with this. I had a situation yesterday to where I was, there was this particular doctor's office that I was trying to make an appointment for my son or whatever, a specialist or whatever. So I was trying to switch the old location to a new location, and I was a little hesitant. And at first I was excited about, okay, I finally found someplace new. But then I started reading their paperwork, and I'm telling you guys, sometimes reading is so important. I mean, fine details. I know that shit takes a lot of time to read, but it's so important, because sometimes you can miss out on stuff, and sometimes little hidden stuff being little stuff, and you don't know what you could be signing. You could be signing your life away. But I say all that to say that I found this new office, and I was a little excited, not too excited, but I was excited that I at least found another place that was a little closer. I didn't have to drive as far out. But anyway, with that being said, I was reading their paperwork, the intake paperwork, the consent forms and so on and so on. Well, there were some things in the consent form, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to just give you a little detail real quick. Most consent forms, I've never seen this before. So when I saw this, it kind of raised a red flag for me. You have to realize that, this is me, my truth. I'm speaking my truth. So this is just talking about me standing firmly in what I believe, and not allowing the doctor's office to allow me to kind of dummy myself down to their needs in a sense. So I say all that to say, in their consent form, they wanted you to sign off for it, the little HIPAA forms and so on and so on. Well, anyway, it basically stated that, and then of course, you have the medical terms that you don't know nothing about. So they use words that you don't really know too much about. And then I asked the lady at the front desk when I was making a point, I said, hey, I got a question about, something that I saw in a consent form, and I said, well, what does that mean? And she was like, she didn't even know what it mean. So she put me on hold. She got her office manager, and her office manager came back to me, and she asked me, well, what was my concern? And I said, well, this part right here in the consent form, and it basically, what exactly do that mean? But when the first lady put me on hold, I went and Googled it myself. Spirit said, go Google it. At the time, I didn't think to Google it, but Spirit said at that moment, go Google it. So I found what it said myself. And it's like Spirit was leading me to Google what it was. So that way, when she came back to the telephone to tell me what it was, it was a matter of, will she be honest with what she was saying? So I say all that to say, so at that moment, I already knew what it was. So when she came back to the phone, when the other lady came to the phone, which was the office manager, she basically stated that, it was like, oh, what was the situation of, place health insurance, like, Medicaid, Medicare, places like that, they just want to make sure that the patients are receiving quality care and so on and so on, and I'm thinking, those things don't apply to me, but nevertheless, whether you're Medicaid, Medicare, it doesn't even matter, any type of health insurance, just for knowing that, I guess the government can have access to certain information at times, this can, be a little scary and a little violating, should I say. But anyway, so it wasn't just that. And I know that, they have the HIPAA forms and so on and so on. And, the consent forms of wanting to make sure okay, that wasn't the point. The point was, there was a situation. Okay. It was like, what else was in there? Pertaining to the court system, pertaining to a lawyer. I understand those because it could be a situation, where they may need to get involved with situations. Then it was 3 other things that really raised the red. Then it talked about the coroner's office. It talked about the funeral home office. Then it talked about the organ and tissue donating. And I'm like, what? So when I read the organ tissue donating, then I read the funeral, and then when I read the coroner's office, I was like, oh hell no, because the first thing I'm thinking to myself, and let's be honest and have a real conversation, in the Black community, us as people have been having to, let's just say that we have kind of been a little on edge in regards to organ harvesting and all that other stuff. So I say all that to say, I'm just speaking my truth, and I'm just saying what it is that maybe other people say silently that they don't say out loud. But I say all that to say that was a concern of mine. So I'm like, why would these people even be affiliated with this special office? I was like, what are you going to donate? Because I asked did it stop? I had ended up asking the office manager when I was speaking to her. I was like, yeah, I said, because I don't understand, why would an organ tissue donor be on her list, and so on and so on. Because I was like, well, you can't donate an ankle and you can't donate a foot. So why would they even be on the list? Hold on, y'all. So sorry, y'all. Anyway, so I didn't understand why that was on that list. And I was like, I had a little concern. I was like, I'm not signing off on this because I'm not agreeing to that. So, I canceled the appointment that I originally had, and so on and so on. But then I felt like God was like, okay, I'm going to need you to deal with this. So it was a matter of me not backing down, but it was a matter of speaking my truth. So I ended up calling the office probably 4 days later after canceling an appointment. And it was like God was just telling me to face my fears, in other words. So I say all that to say, for me, I knew what he was saying for me, but for me, it was a matter of, okay, this is where I want you to be at. Excuse me. This is where I want you to be at. And even though I know you see what you see, it's a matter of speaking your truth. So when I reached out to her yesterday, she said, hey, she actually left me a message because somebody had told her that I guess I have this voice that people seem to recognize because I usually try to push *69 sometimes when I'm calling places so people don't know who I am. But sometimes you call a place so much they already recognize who you are. But anyway, so the girl, I don't know. Anyway, so I got a call back from the office. The girl was actually busy, so I told her I would call back, but the office manager ended up calling me again. And she said, hey, I would love to reach out to you and so on and so on. So just give me a call back because I hear that you called the office and so on and so on. And I just spoke to her last week. But anyway, so when I did call her back, I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to call her, but I'm going to call her later. So I called her, and I called her later like I said I would. And I had to honor that because I told God, I was like, okay, I will call. So I called her and we spoke. And for a minute, it was a little bit of tug and war. in a settled type of way, because initially she reaching out to me, but I didn't call her. I called the other office, but she was at another location. But with all that being said, she basically say, yeah, she said, help me to understand what it is that, how can we help you? I said, well, first of all, let me just be honest with you for a minute. I said, I have some concerns, and she knew that, because she stated that when she left a voicemail. And I told her, I said, my concerns are, I just said, I just have to be honest. And I knew I was talking to a Caucasian lady. And let's be honest, I know sometimes we can all turn on a voice and turn off a voice, us people of color at times, but it was a matter of just being truthful and authentic and so on and so on. But the truth of the matter is, I had to come to her and I told her, I said, hey, I said, look, I said, here's the deal. I said, I told you last week that, there was some sort of red flags for me, because she was trying to wonder, like, how can we get you into the office? And I told her, I said, listen, I said, you have to understand, being an African-American woman, and I really didn't even want to use that term, but I was just trying to figure out what other term could I use. Brown woman, African, whatever. So I basically told her that, you have to understand that we deal with so much stuff in the Black community with things like organ harvesting and so on and so on. And I think when I said that to her, she kind of understood where I was coming from, because I'm pretty sure she probably thought I had some sort of mental issue or some sort of, I'm sure she probably thought something was going on with me or whatever the case may be. Like, why is this girl tripping like this? We ain't never had nobody like that. But then as I opened up, she opened up. And I told her, and I said, yeah, and I went and read the parts too. I said, well, that concerns me, because never have I ever seen a doctor's office say anything about, this is not like you're donating blood, excuse me. This is not like it's a hospital. This is not like it's, those type of things. But because it's a foot and an ankle doctor, what could you possibly be donating? You can't donate a foot. You can't donate an ankle. And I told her that. I was like, so I don't understand why that is on your form, and nor can I sit up there and tell them what to put on their forms or what not to put on their form. But for me, it raised a red flag. And she said, you know what? Last week when you actually brought that to my attention, I actually went back and read what it was that, you brought to my attention. So in other words, she didn't even know the information was in there, but she did bring to my attention that they basically just have the standard forms or something like that, she said. But because they were like the standard forms, I guess, that a lawyer's office just downloaded and, I guess kind of gave to them, but I guess they never really read it. So she was like, I can see why you're kind of feeling the way that you feel. And I was like, yeah, I said, because you have to understand that's kind of been like it's been a situation that's been kind of like ongoing. And, I said, even though I know, she said, okay, because she said she's never had anybody to even mention anything about that in the form, because she said most people don't normally read the form. And she's like the second doctor's office that actually said that, because the other doctor's office that we used to go to, that we were switching to, kind of said the same thing. She got a little pissed off at the other office that I was at, because I was reading the forms and I wouldn't sign off on it until I was done reading it. And because for her, it wasn't quick enough, and I was not going to allow her to rush me into signing something that I didn't know what I was signing. So I literally sat there and read it, but I can just tell her whole demeanor got a little upset and her body language changed. So at that moment, I was like, it's time to go. Because if you're upset because I'm reading a consent form and I'm not just going to sign off on it like everybody else does, you're wrong. So because I was challenging her, not purposefully, because that's just who I am, as I told you guys before, I know I told you guys before, that I have dyslexia or whatever the case may be. And you would probably think somebody with dyslexia wouldn't sit there and read a whole form, or why would you read a whole form? But I've even read a whole contract, even when buying a new car. Let me say that, their contracts are very long. So let me just say, even that lady, when we was purchasing, when me and myself and my spouse was purchasing a car some years ago, I literally sat there and read the form. And I'm sure they was like, okay, she really gonna sit here and read this? And I did. And I'm sure my spouse thought the same thing too, because he was like, well, just sign it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna just sign it. And then the lady was just like, she was just trying to give me the gist of what the form was saying. I sat there and I read it. And the questions I did not understand, I put a line beside it, and I went back to her and asked her, what does this mean? So I say all that to say, we had purchased some property and some timeshare property. And I say all that to say they got another long ass contract, that you got to sit there and read. And it took up their time, and I'm sure they didn't like that, but it is what it is. I'm not going to give you my money just freely, and I don't know what it is that I'm signing. So I say all that to say that was another situation. I sat there and read the long ass contract. It took up my time, and it took up their time, but that's okay. And then it was another situation where, what else was it? I believe it was purchasing our home. It was the same thing as well, too. Again, I'm just saying it's important to just kind of read. And even the things you don't understand, put a line beside it and go back to it. Even when reading through it, this is just me. I know everybody is not going to do that. But I say, yes, it takes up time. But I'd rather know what it is that I'm signing off on. But anyway, so with that being said, the lady had basically said, well, here's what I can do. And see, just by simply standing up for what you know to be true, you never know what may happen because you hold firmly to your beliefs and your integrity and you're not bending for nobody else. But no, it's not you trying to get them to change as well too, but it's a matter of compromising. But she understood where I was coming from, and I told her, I said, well, you have to understand that if I myself is reading that, and if somebody else who comes along who is also black as well too, and they read the same exact thing, well, they may look at that and see that as a trigger point, like, oh my God, like if they took the time to read, well, what is this? That's enough to just kind of keep certain clients away from them because they have certain word or certain lingo within their consent forms or their contract. So it was just something to make her to be mindful of. And in the end, I think we both were happy, should I say. So she basically told me, and I said, well, because I'm not agreeing to that, and nor do I consent for giving them authority. She was only saying it was only in a situation of, let's just say, if somebody, let's just say, was in a abusive situation and something might have happened to them to where, let's just say, that person ended up deceased or whatever the case may be, the courts might have got involved and so on and so on. But I still don't understand the organ and tissue part. That doesn't make sense to me. And nor do I even understand why... and nor do I understand, to be honest with you, why, just my personal opinion, why a corner office would need to call a specialist office, because at that point, your job is to sit there and evaluate what happened to see fractures or whatever. You specialize in that. So why would you need to call another office? But anyway, I don't know. Maybe past injury. I don't know. But anyway. So with all that being said, it just didn't make sense to me and I didn't want to sign it. So anyway, so she basically told me that she would, and I got one more card, y'all, I'm almost done. She basically told me that we would skip that consent form. And I told her, I said, well, even if we skip the consent form and you get me to sign it, it's kind of like that form is still there. So I said, can I get you guys to sign off on it? Basically stating that you're going to waiver that form. Because she said basically, but they were going to, saying that I refuse to sign. I don't agree to the terms in that particular part. And that, and I asked her basically, could they put that in writing? Meaning I have the office signature on there saying I was declining to agree with that particular area to agree with that particular section in the consent form. So, and I asked if they could sign off on it, and she said yes, they would sign off on it. So I said, okay, that was the only way I was going to continue on. So I basically got to go pick up the paperwork and make sure the paperwork is saying exactly what it was that her and I spoke about, because if it's not, then I'm going to have to go back and say something to her again to make sure it's exactly how it needs to be before I take and sign off on it. Excuse me. So yeah, y'all. So just make sure that you stand firmly in, what you believe. I don't expect anybody to agree with me, but I'm just saying, though, that's how I feel. I know we're all different and unique, and God is teaching us all how to be different and unique and have a difference of opinions, but we can coexist together. What I believe in, you may not believe in. That's fine. But let me roll how I roll. I'll let you roll how you roll without trying to change you, and just accept you just the way you are, and everything will be copacetic. Anyway, so this one is unconditional love. Loving myself unconditionally. And it says, today I will work at loving myself unconditionally. God, please help me to let go of self-loathing and other unproductive behaviors. Today, God, I want to hold myself in high esteem. I know that I can do so with your help. So boom, I know I can't do anything without God. I'm not saying I can't do anything without God, but I always try to keep God first, in things that I do, because I know that when I do, I know he has my back. And this last one is being true to myself. Today, I will honor, cherish, and love myself. When I get confused about what to do, I just have to remember that I need to be true to myself. And sometimes we do get confused, but that's why it's important to stop, center yourself, ground yourself before you make any rash decisions, and calm yourself. As this first card said, to calm yourself, get calm. I need to be true to myself. I will break free of the old that others and their expectations have on me. So boom, there it is. Anyway, y'all, I hope that information was helpful. I wish you all much love, much light. And it's so funny because today the message was about, it's almost like people kind of speaking their truths. And today I am recording a video on the throat chakra. If you guys choose to join me, in ways that you may understand when your throat chakra is blocked, as well as when it's unblocked, should I say. We talk about associated illnesses that is tied to that as well too, that ties back to when your throat chakra is blocked. So anyway, I'll be posting that video if anybody want to watch that one. But anyway, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Make the most of it. I wish you all much love, much light, and I say peace and blessings. Until next time, remember, always keep God first. Bye.